The NFL trade deadline is approaching. Will the Jaguars make a move? Let's talk about it. Now, before I get into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Mint Mobile. Now, have you ever thought to yourself, why in the world is my wireless bill so freaking high? Then let me tell you about Mint Mobile, who I'm partnering with for today's video. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service for as low as $15 per month, and you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network. They keep costs low because they sell directly to you online. They essentially cut out the retail stores and the salespeople. Why should you have to pay more than you have to for access to the same network? All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. Mint also offers a modern family plan that lets you set up a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. I was able to switch over to Mint Mobile from my previous carrier, and I have noticed no difference in speeds, and my internet is just as fast as it used to be. Switching to Mint is super easy. Thanks to their digital eSIM cards, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home. If your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free. Now, a lot of people don't like switching their phone carrier because it may take a lot of time and they just don't really feel like doing it. But most of the people that watch my channel live in Florida, and we are in a very, very inflationary period. So if you take the time to switch to Mint Mobile, you're going to be able to deduct and reduce your phone bill, and you're not even going to notice a difference from your previous carrier. And now, as a special limited time offer, you can get their unlimited plan, which is normally only $30 a month, for just $15 a month. That's 50% savings from their already low price. You can use my link in the description box down below or in the pinned comments. And plus, it also helps my channel. Thank you, Mint Mobile, for coming over here and being able to sponsor today's video. Now, let's get to the contents of this video. Now, a few things to know about the trade deadline. It is on October 31st at 4 p.m. Eastern time is a deadline to make a trade. The Jaguars draft capital in 2024 consists of 1 first-round pick, 1 second-round pick, 2 third-round picks, one of those third-round picks being a conditional draft pick from the Jawan Taylor deal where he signed on to the Chiefs, so the Jaguars get a conditional third, and 0 fourth-round picks. Now, the big thing that is kind of weird about this whole equation is the Calvin Ridley trade. Now, right now, Calvin Ridley sits as that we are going to be giving up a 2024 fourth-round pick. But that pick can turn into a third-round pick if Ridley plays either 60% of snaps, or if he records 75 receptions, or if he gets 1,000 yards receiving. So there's a very good chance that probably turns into a third-round pick just from, snap percentage alone, as long as he stays healthy. But that actually turns into a second-round pick if an extension is signed. So maybe there's a chance an extension does get signed. So that I don't really know how this whole thing works when it comes to what the Jaguars can offer up in a trade. Like if they want to give up a second-round pick for somebody, are they allowed to do it, or does that second-round pick kind of get held in escrow and the Jaguars can't get rid of that? I'm not too sure how that whole thing works. Can we only give up like a first and a third since I don't know. I'm not too sure how that all works, but I imagine it's going to come out in time. So let's talk about potential moves the Jaguars can make. Now, the biggest one everybody is talking about, the biggest fish out there is Danielle Hunter, the Vikings defensive lineman. Now, at the moment, he's the NFL sack leader. He is absolutely killing it this year. But the big thing that comes into this is, would the Vikings really want to trade him? Now, he was being talked about like crazy when the Vikings were, 0-3. They were like, okay, the Vikings stink. They're going to be wanting to get a quarterback. They're going to be going through a rebuild. This whole thing is happening. However, the Vikings have won 3 out of the last 4 games, and they're now sitting at 3-4. So right now, if the season ended today, the Vikings would actually have the 7th seed in the playoffs. So if they were a legit playoff team, and if they want to potentially win a Super Bowl, then they're going to want to keep Danielle Hunter, and maybe they're not going to give him away for as cheap as they would have if the Vikings were like 1-6 right now. So I imagine the right price would get him, but I think with the Vikings being good, now the trade demands are going to increase. Instead of maybe getting him for a second round pick, maybe it's going to cost a first and a third. So that's going to be tough. I'm not sure if the Vikings are going to want to move him. But imagine a defensive line with Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, and Danielle Hunter. That would be a crazy third down package. So yeah, that's Danielle Hunter. Next up, we have Washington Commanders defensive end Chase Young. Now, Chase Young has had an up and down career since being drafted number 2 overall in the 2020 draft. He has had a good year this year, though, I will say. He is number 4 in pressures and number 8 in pass rush win rate as he is in a contract year. They did not pick up the 5th-year option, so this is the last year of their deal. And are the Commanders interested in giving him a long-term deal? I'm not too sure what the future of the Commanders is right now. They're not a very good team right now. Ron Rivera is kind of sitting on that hot seat, and they have quarterback question marks. So are they a team that maybe looks to, okay, let's rebuild, let's try to make some moves to get a quarterback? And if they're a team that's sitting at number like 8 or 9 in the NFL draft, I imagine they may want to move up. And to move up, they might want to maybe get a second-round pick or a third-round pick for Chase Young to be able to get more ammunition to make those kind of moves. Because, look, there's a lot of teams that are going to want quarterbacks next year, it seems like, and there are a few of them out there. It's not like 2021 where it was like Trevor Lawrence and like a huge gap. There seems to be a bunch of pretty good prospects out there. So I imagine they may want to get a quarterback and they may want to look to rebuild, and maybe Chase Young, they give him up for just a day 2 pick. So that one would be really interesting. And the last guy I want to talk about, and this is probably the most likely in my opinion, is Josh Uche. He's an outside edge rusher for the New England Patriots. Now, he's a pure pass rusher, okay? Similar to Unique Ngakoue, he doesn't really play many run down snaps. He's, pretty much a third down pass rusher, but he is 16th in pass rush win rate. He would instantly become the Jaguars' second best pass rusher behind Josh Allen, and he is in the last year of his deal as well. So he could be a guy that, the Patriots look to move, especially if the Patriots lose again this weekend. And, the Patriots are a team that want to get their quarterback of the future because they give up on Mac Jones. Maybe Josh Uche is a guy that the Jaguars look at and say, okay, we want to bolster up our pass rush, make that big move, and then, maybe allows Trayvon Walker to play inside a little bit more, or, inside on pass rushing downs, and, stays on the field during rundowns. It'll be an interesting situation to see what the Jaguars do. So those are 3 guys I listed. Now, the Jaguars could definitely target some other positions, most importantly, maybe offensive line, like interior offensive line. But it does seem like the Jaguars getting a little bit healthier on that end, and cornerback potentially. But I think that the Jaguars make a move, they're going to be making a move for an edge rusher, unless they give up like a 6th-round pick for, somebody like on the low. But when it comes to big swings for a team that wants to buy and get a team that will help them in a Super Bowl push, these are some names that I would look out for. So let me know your thoughts. Are there any of these moves that you would like to make? Would love to hear from you guys. Go Jags.